Hi, hello. I know I'm late. I know, okay? I get it. I get it. Oh my god. Are things going well? Is things good? How's the music? How's the music? Hold on, let me pause my music and listen to the music. You know what? That's good music. That's good levels of music. Good music levelings. Crazy high night. Is this? I just ate pizza. Still stuck at work, but I have maps to make. I actually specifically... I swear this is not a lie. I did push the stream back to 15, like to 3 p.m. originally, so that you could like join for the end part of it, so you could also start work. And then my girlfriend, because she was meant to leave like an hour ago to meet up with a friend, but didn't because that friend got a little bit busy, so she's leaving later. And I was like, well, I mean, I can't just let her like play Hollow Knight without me watching. Like that's just not how that works. Yeah, if you didn't read in chat, by the way, girlfriend started playing Hollow Knight on the Switch, which by the fucking way, why is there input delay on the controller in Hollow Knight on the Switch? Like that shit's actually, it's like a noticeable amount. Like I was gonna like show her a thing, and like I kept running into enemies, I kept like missing pogos, and like I'm good at Hollow Knight. Like I'm good at this game. Yeah, like it's not like I know that I am out of practice because I played a shit ton of Silksong instead, but like it's still surprising just like how much delay there was, and there isn't really a way to fix it apparently on the Switch. It's just kind of a thing you have to deal with. And like it's probably fine if you like get used to it, but I don't know, for me as like a speedrun guy for Hollow Knight specifically, using I do appreciate you adjusting timing a bit. Oh, I mean that was for me adjusting the timing from 2:30 to 3. Me adjusting it from 3 to 3:30 was just me procrastinating. And I did just, in fact, complain to my girlfriend that, like, I don't want to script, I don't want to do it, I don't want to... You know... Are you okay? She's fighting Hornet right now. I don't think she's okay. She's not having a good time with Hornet. She doesn't like Hornet. She thought, when she saw Hornet, that she was surprised, because she's seen me play Silksong, and she thought that the ghost, the little ghost, like the knight, is the child version of Hornet, which I thought was really funny. Because, you know, Hornet speaks back from chicken chopping. Let's go make me a chicken. I don't want to get started, guys. I'm gonna be so for real. I don't... Get working. I haven't even planned anything. So yeah, the premise for this stream, if you read the title, is meant to be a co-working stream, because I've been like heavily procrastinating on video ideas. Not on video ideas, also on video ideas, but like on video scripts specifically. Because I will go into a little bit of backstory here for those who maybe missed it. I wanted to prepare a bunch of videos for when the new model is done, right? Like the idea is that I stop focusing on shorts and instead I make videos that I can turn into shorts, potentially. So that way my content is a bit more like focused on the long form, and the short form stuff is not like, it's not the main thing I do, right? Like that's kind of the end goal. Like I don't want the short form stuff to be the main thing that I'm doing. But that requires me to not just script a short, because like I also talked about this, where like I got into a bad work habit of kind of just making like a short in a single day, just like overworking myself for like 4 or 6 hours or something, and just making the short and then like not doing anything for another week or 2 or a month sometimes. And like that's not good. That's not a good work habit. I should just get used to like writing longer videos that also take longer to edit, and maybe I'll stream that as well. And I've just not been getting to it, and maybe, just maybe, streaming it in like a co-working thing, if I know that people are like working alongside it, maybe it helps. I hope. But I don't want to do it though. I don't want to do it. How do I even know if anyone's working alongside me, huh? It's not like any of you can prove your existence by sending me money. I'm not gonna make that joke again, actually. No. I need to just get going. Okay. I guess I'm also a little bit worried because like I'm using my notes app. I made sure to like make it so that the stuff is not visible, like the stuff that's personal, because I do use this notes app for everything, but I made like a separate window for it. Maybe I should make a separate vault for video stuff, but then it's like another thing I need to click. It's not really that much extra. That's fine. I made sure that it wouldn't be like, that stuff wouldn't be visible. It should all be okay. But I also wonder how much revealing all my like video ideas here. I don't think there's any that like I would be mad if people saw it. I don't think so. Nope, I don't think so. Okay. Let's get the thing on. Oh, whoops. No, there it is. Yeah, it's there. Okay, I do gotta move it under me, ideally, somewhere like here. And I guess I gotta move myself a little bit. I gotta move myself maybe over here. I also don't have like Google. I didn't prep anything for this, okay? I'm not a prepper. I'm not a preparationer. I just kind of was like, yeah, I'll do a work along stream. That's gonna go great. I'll do a stream where the idea is that you work alongside me, and nothing's gonna go wrong there. There's gonna be nothing that goes wrong. Okay. So this is my thing called videos and shorts to work on right now. This is a very old document. This is like months old at this point. It's not up to date. Like the stuff you see here, it is not in fact videos to work on right now. It is in fact videos to work on a fucking while ago. Where do I even keep my current video ideas? I think they're over here in my like reminder folder. Yeah, let me actually just copy those in here. Let me just copy paste those. About the cursed child. Wait, what are these actually? What are these links that I put here? Are these okay? Oh wow, I have the same... No, I don't have the same thing twice. No, I do have the same thing twice. Why the fuck would I have the same theory linked in here twice? I'm actually so cringe for that. It's fine, okay, I don't like these ideas anyway. They're stupid. But let me copy these in here. On like another thing. There we go. There was a thing in the peak stream that I thought would make for a great clip. At this moment. Yeah, at this moment, because I timestamped it in a very horrible way, because I didn't realize that you could timestamp stuff in YouTube with like a stream marker. And now I know that. But I didn't know that before, and now I know that. And I was gonna make maybe some of these... Oh yeah, this was one that my girlfriend suggested. About like My Hero stuff and how the powers from My Hero Academia could like work in a biological sense. And I thought about doing it, but like I'm not that into My Hero, so I don't know if like it would be interesting to people. I guess I'd have to see what people are into. I guess I'd have to... Because, like, I don't hate the idea, right? Like, with the... I think the way we got talking about it was with this one, e.g. Bombardier Beetle is like Mina or something. Because there's a character that makes, like, acid, that shoots acid, and she's, like, a snail person thingy. And I was like, oh, there's like a way that could work in real life, which is that like you could do something like the Bombardier Beetle, which has two inert chemicals in its ass, and then it mixes them together and they explode when they do that. And then it led to a whole conversation about why all of the chemical stuff is always in the ass. Like, have you wondered why so many animals have anal glands? There's a reason for that, and I kind of wanted to make a short about that. Or it's the same reason, like with anal glands it's funny, but like, why is venom in the mouth, right? Like, why is it so often that animals have venom, like venom glands in their mouth? I know that like the obvious one is like, oh, that's where the teeth are. But like realistically, you could have venom glands like in your claws. right? Like they'd still be able to deliver venom, but I don't think there's any animals that have like venom glands in their claws, but like there's a reason, a separate reason from like the whole like, oh, it's probably easier to like inject stuff with teeth as to why venom glands are usually in the mouth and why anal glands like tend to be like such a widespread thing in a lot of animals. Yeah. So that's I wanted to maybe talk about that, but I don't know how interesting that would be. So there's a lot of ideas here. Honestly, I should probably cull like a lot of these. A lot of these like... Yeah, a lot of these clips from like my Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate streams, I'm just probably not gonna do. The MHG retrospective, I don't know, man. It's like, it's so not the type of content I usually do, right? Like, it would be so out of character for me. But then again, that's maybe like not terrible, because like, I don't know. It would be like a big project. I feel like doing a proper retrospective on a game, that'd be like at least, it would have to be like at least a 30-minute video, right? I couldn't really make that like a short video, even though I would love to like talk about like, I really enjoy Monster Hunter Generations Ultimate. I think it's, I think I can safely say it's my favorite Monster Hunter game. I used to give that title to 4 Ultimate, because 4 Ultimate was when I like really got into Monster Hunter, but nah, dude, MHGU is just, it's just such a fucking good game, and it has just so much content. Worlds and Wilds and Rise and stuff, they're good, but like, Generations Ultimate just feels like the last classic Monster Hunter game. I know that Rise technically has that title, but like, Rise also has like the big issue, in my opinion, of like, too much movement on the monsters and the characters. That's like a whole thing I could get into, but I'm probably not gonna do this. I don't think this is really a video I'm gonna make. Then there was the whole thing of like, because you can see that by these things that like I wrote this note when Monster Hunter Wilds was still like kind of new. It had like just come out like a few weeks or months ago at most, like maybe a month ago. This was one that I thought could be interesting, but it's like, that's like, this is short material. This is kind of what I mean, right? A lot of my ideas for shorts are like things I want to talk about, but like realistically, the way I want to talk about them wouldn't be good for short form, but there isn't enough to talk about for it to be a long form video. So to elaborate, right? Nursilla has a cool thing where it's weak to lightning damage. That's its elemental weakness, right? If you look at the type chart of it, right? But it's only weak to it once you break the hide that it has, like the rubbery stuff that it's got all over it, because that's actually Gypsarel's hide. Which Gypsaros is weak to fire. So the explanation is that Nursilla is like smart enough to specifically hunt Gypsaros and Kazu, and then instead of just eating them and like leaving the corpse, it'll take them apart and then put the skin, like the rubbery hide, on itself to protect from lightning damage. Specifically useful. It doesn't make as much sense in Wilds because, you know, there's no lightning monsters in the ice cliffs, I think. So I don't know why it would be doing this behavior, but like that's something I was going to incorporate. Do I have the script for this actually? Hold on, let me open this up quickly, because I think I can look at this. Yeah. I actually did write the script for this. I think I just straight up did not edit it at all. I don't think I actually put this one into editing because I wanted to look the script over again, and I just kind of didn't get to it, which sucks, but it happens, I guess. But like, I think this script was actually done. You tried the Timnos's elemental weakness. Regen Kilizo's Kazu shared a territory. His weakness has become master of hunting Gypsaros. Not only is a food source. Yeah. Because I realized by the end that like the way that I'm talking about this is too long. I think this was when shorts were still like a minute. I don't think I could make them 3 minutes yet. So I was like, oh, this would be too long. This script was just gonna be too long, and I didn't want to like try and trim it even more. I could probably just like record this now and honestly just make it a thing, but also like now Monster Hunter Wilds is not like a popular game anymore, and I really doubt this would interest anyone. I don't know, maybe I'll still do it just to kind of get into the flow of things again, just to have like a shorter video. But like, you kind of see what I mean, right? Like the explanation that I gave. Oh, and I'm actually not done with the explanation. And I was like, so normally, like I wrote here, like, oh, normally it lives in places with Kirin, Rajang, Kazu, Giginox, I guess you could also put here. Like it lives in caves where electric monsters also usually reside. So it makes sense for it to have gotten good at this behavior. But in the Forbidden Lands, there's no electric monsters in the ice shard cliffs. So the only reason it would have this behavior is because it's not actually a trained behavior, it's a genetic behavior. Like this is something that they are genetically inclined to do. It's in their nature to have this specific hunting behavior. Maybe there's also a different reason, you know, maybe because like their skin is kind of light, maybe it also protects, like it gives them like a little bit of camouflage in the dark caves. But like realistically, the caves and places it dwells in are not that dark typically. Hell, in the ice shard cliffs, it would probably be better to be like light skinned because of all the ice and snow and stuff. So it's like, in order to really touch on everything to make it make sense, this would have to be like a 4 or 5 minute video. But I don't want to just make like a 4 to 5 minute video on this guy, on like, oh, you know. Also, excuse me moving around so much. I'm moving around a lot when I'm sitting. Where was I? Right, and like, I just think that the way to do this short in a good way for like, quote unquote, for the algorithm would be something more along the lines of like, look at this cool turf war where you can see Nursilla eating the Gypsaros. Did you know that Nursilla is weak to lightning, so it drapes itself in the hide of Gypsaros? That's the short, that's it. That's like, you say the factoid and you show the turf war and it's like 20 to 30 seconds. And like, you got a short right there. It's low effort, you make it quickly, it's not incorrect. But like, and that's also something people would watch when scrolling, right? Because I feel like if I make like a 2.5 minute short about this, like people are gonna just not watch it. They're gonna be like uninterested halfway through because they're scrolling shorts, right? And as much as I like the idea of my shorts being like a little bit more on the educational and like quote unquote worthwhile side, I just don't think it's the right medium for it. And that's why a lot of these videos I think have kind of like sat here. What about this one? How much did I finish of this one? Oh, I finished like a decent amount of it. But like this one, for example, with the Nursilla, right? I feel like this would make a lot more sense as a full video, as a video where I'm going like, oh, here's like a complete ecology of the ice shard cliffs. And then I talk about Nursilla as a whole, right? As a species, and I mention the Gypsaros fact as just like, oh, excuse me, it's just like a thing it can do. Also, I'm gonna do something else here, because it's bothering me. I'm gonna make this the full screen here, and I'm gonna put myself down here, but in VTube Studio. There we go. I think that's a bit better, right? Yeah, I think that's a bit better for like my movement, because then I'm not gonna like cut out at the top here all the time, because that's something that's happening more than I would like, and I don't like it at all, so I'm gonna make it stop. But yeah, this is probably like one of the reasons why I've kind of been struggling with the script writing, because I just feel like all of my ideas here, all of the ideas I've kind of like accumulated, none of these work as shorts. Not for what I actually want to do, right? Like not for the change in content that I have planned. Also, I didn't warm up my voice today, so if my voice sounds a bit weird, that's the reason. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't know what to do with these ideas, because a lot of these I think are just not workable. And frankly, like, I'm not that interested in them anymore, I guess, is like another thing. Like, I wrote a lot of these ideas down when Monster Hunter Wilds was still new, so I was kind of like in that mindset. But like a lot of, like the Guardian Sacred one here, for example, I was gonna yeah, like look at the Guardian Sacred and like, oh, these are more, these are like more like the undomesticated sacred that we have today. So we can see what they used to be like a little bit. And like, I still would like to do that. I just don't think anyone would watch it. And if I'm just talking about it to no one, like I also just don't care that much about it. Because frankly, a lot of the... no, that's mean to say. I don't want to like imply that Monster Hunter Wilds doesn't have like interesting ecology. It does. It's just that with some of these things, it feels like I would be looking too deep into it for my conclusions to make any sense. You know, like it's one thing to analyze like the whole ecosystem and have the very obvious like, oh, here's the food chain. Here's what the role of these critters is in the whole thing, you know. But yeah, like I don't know how I would motivate myself to do this now. I think I'm just gonna delete this one. This one I'm just gonna delete. This idea gets deleted. The Nursilla one I don't hate, but it's just kind of gonna sit here, I think. I don't really... yeah. And then here the Zoshia thing was like, oh, what's Zoshia actually made of? But like, I could look at it... What did I write actually? Is the script... was there even a script? No, there wasn't. Yeah, I wanted to like... something about the equal dragon weapon, something about like the elements from the Elder Dragons, but like... it's kind of semi-confirmed now, like it's just Fatalis, right? It's just the 3 Fatalises that we know about, where like it has elements of regular Fatalis, Crimson, and White Fatalis, or I guess Old Fatalis. Like, I don't think there's much here. Yeah, I think we... oh, whoops. There you go. I think we can delete this one and this whole idea. I don't think this is workable. The Arkveld one, I am not opposed to still making, because I actually think that, like, why did it go extinct is still an interesting question. Because I don't think it's one that's been answered, and all we have to look at is modern Arkveld, which I would argue is probably not the same as pre-Guardian Arkveld. Because, like, all of the Guardian monsters, they do resemble their original counterpart. Like, if we're looking at Ebony Odogaron or, like, what was it, the Anjanath, right? They obviously resemble their non-Guardian counterpart, but I would assume that if those Guardians found a way to escape their programming, right? If they, like, broke free of their programming the same way Arkveld did, and, like, managed to lay an egg somehow, and that egg was not a Guardian, because we don't know the process of why this happened, right? I think it's probably very Arkveld specific, but I would assume that some changes were made to Arkveld that were not original, right? What did I write here? Yeah, it feeds on energy, most likely had their own ecosystem. Yeah, because, like, my hypothesis, just based on, like, what I read in the game, because, like, if you look at, like, Arkveld's chains and stuff, it seems to me that that organ or whatever it is was kind of used to make Guardians. Because what's mentioned is that Guardians, they eat wyvern milk, right? Like, that's their primary food source. They don't have to eat meat, they don't have a stomach, they just eat Wilkstone. Or, like, the energy from the Dragon Torch. And in order to do that, they would all need to have some kind of organ to absorb energy, like Arkveld. So I think that what probably happened is, like, the Wyverians, the people of Wyveria, rather, because Wyverians is a different thing. The people of Wyveria, like, probably hunted Arkveld down to almost extinction, and then realized, like, oh fuck, we need like more of these organs, so we need to make a Guardian version of Arkveld so we can keep growing these organs. But I think by that time their population already diminished, because, like, they're clearly, like, I don't want to call them parasitic in nature, but, like, because they do hunt for food, right? Like, Arkveld has been shown to eat, but they do also absorb the energy of other monsters, like the elemental energies, and I don't know if that part is also, like, if it's a part of their like hunting strategy, like they do that in order to like kill the other monster quicker or like more effectively, like that's just their combat niche in air quotes, or if because or like them absorbing the energy is more of a parasitic behavior where it also sustains them, it also gives them nutrients, but they can still hunt. They just might need to do it less often, right? I don't know why I got on that topic, actually. I don't remember. But like either way, both of those behaviors, like if you have like a very specialized parasite or like a predator of predators, like I wouldn't even really call it an apex predator. Nah, it's probably pretty fair to call it like a roaming apex predator or something, because it doesn't seem to be very territorial. It does seem to roam and travel a lot, at least from what we've seen of Guardian Arkveld. And like even regular Arkveld, it does show up in many different areas. I think it's fair to say that their population density was like incredibly low and that they probably made it very infrequently. So even just hunting them like a little bit, even if the people of Iberia just like hunted one per month or something, that could already be enough to just completely disrupt like the mating rituals and mating sites that they might have had and just like start a domino effect, right? Like some animals are just like that, where there's just very few of them. With parasites, like it's kind of the case, but they tend to have like a shit ton of offspring all at once. Where with Arkveld, it doesn't look like it would be doing that. It looks like it probably had like 1 or 2 young at most, just from the size. And because we do see like a single egg in one of the cutscenes, but that might also be because, you know, it's like modern Arkveld and not old Arkveld. I don't know, like I do actually think that this video idea is salvageable. I think there is enough to talk about, that this could perhaps be like its own video. But maybe it should be one that is more on the rambly side and is like just one topic, where like it's like a 5 to 8 minute video. I just talk about these things, I intersperse it with like images and like Wikipedia articles. Like you know how Hank Green's videos are? Imagine kind of something like that, where it's like it's just me, probably with this background here with this one, because I like this one, the one I recorded from Mod Center World. I think it could be actually a decent video. I might add like a few tags to this to make it so I remember. I like your funny words, Magic Femboy. What program are you using? This is Obsidian. It's a markdown editor. It only uses plain text. Like it only uses pure text. If you want to edit anything, you have to do the like, you know how in Discord you can like edit things. This would be bold. It turns red for me because I have an extra plugin that turns it, like that makes bold and italic a different color as well. I like Obsidian a lot. It is very restrictive though. I am currently in the process of thinking of either changing programs or just figuring out how to sort things, because right now my sorting is based on folders, and like one of the biggest things about Obsidian is that you can connect things with tags, which is like way better, to be honest. But like I wasn't used to it, so I sorted my stuff with folders, and now it's kind of a mess to navigate all my notes, and if I did it with tags it would just be better. So yeah, I might have to like redo all my notes anyway. So it's not bad for me to at least go over this one, because this one, oh yeah, also something you might have seen is like me clicking on things here. If you have the double brackets, it puts a link. Single bracket links to like outside stuff like this one, like you know, on in your browser, and then double brackets lets you link to other nodes. So you can essentially create like a little wiki or like a little website for yourself, but like just in your folder, you know. And the other nice thing is that because this is a markdown like text editor, all of the files, I can actually go look for this file right now. Maybe hold on, let me go reveal file in, no, not in navigation. Can I reveal file in folder? Is that a thing I can do? Show me where this is stored. Change icon. Nope, none of these are what I want. It's fine. But like TLDR, like this is literally just like stored in a plain text file, so it takes up literally no storage data, and you can very easily have like duplicates of this so you don't lose it and stuff. The only issue I've had, which is kind of annoying, is it's quite difficult to insert images, because if you just like drag and drop them in, essentially it'll save the image in the same folder that your Obsidian Vault is in, because everything you have is stored locally, by the way, even if you have like even if you're paying for it, like I am, the cloud storage thingy is just like a backup. You still have all of the files locally. The images, the way it works is that like if you drag and drop one in, it will save a copy of that image in a folder in Obsidian. And the problem is that it then also puts them in your sidebar, which I hated. So the better way is to like link images from the web, which you can do. But then you need to trust that like Imager and stuff won't go down, because like a lot of the reason people use this is because, because everything is local, nothing here needs the internet and stuff. This will survive every service going down ever. It's plain text, Markdown will never go away. Markdown editing is incredibly useful. Like this is like, you know, it doesn't store things in like some proprietary format. This sucked when I was switching from Evernote. That's what I used originally. And I saw that all of my notes were in some weird like .evxt format that nothing except Evernote could read, and they would need to be like reformatted, and some of the info would be lost, and it's really weird. I don't know why a lot of them do that. Finally heading home. Had an absolute fucking wild story from work now. People are fucking stupid. User called having issues with his browsers being locked to the wrong search engine. Run remote access to help the user. And this guy has Steam and a bunch of other games on his work PC. Check around and find out it started when he tried to download a game of a shady site, install it, check his work log. And I see a DL site game code on the... What's a DL site game code on the download? Can you tell me what... I actually don't know what that is. Because like I'm not a tech guy, I'm just always scared whenever I download like any PNG. Any PNG I download, I get terrified. Because I don't know computer stuff. So you're gonna have to let me know what that is. Because I'm a little bit of a stupid boy. Porn games? Ah, interesting. Fascinating. I would even dare to say horrifying. Dude, why would you call tech support? Like at that point I would just, if I had my work PC set up like that, I would just wipe the whole thing before I ever ask for help. I'd be like, yeah, I tried to fix it. I tried to do like a soft reset, and weirdly everything just reset. Isn't that strange? And then I pray that the tech guy doesn't like rat me out to my boss. That would be my that would be my, like my my hope. Okay, back to the video scripts I can potentially work on. This one very much a short that I like. I don't think I can make this one, but I don't want to delete it because like I heard about this concept of bioturbation, which, as it says here, like it distributes the soil and sand, loosening it, making it more arable. This is what like real worms do, like rainworms. They do this. They do bioturbation. Hello tech support, I'm having a problem with my horny games. Oh, I didn't even need to approve it. Wait, Marty, did you approve it? Because I didn't need to approve it, but it also didn't show up. Wait, why didn't it show up? Wait, let me go back to top chat. No, what? No, it showed up. You approved it, but oh, it still doesn't show up in my caster labs. Oh, that's stupid. Why doesn't it show up here? Show timestamps, badges, users platform, users pronouns. Dude, I need to get a better chat for my screen. Like one to put on the screen. Oh well. I mean the game wasn't even installed, the only reason I recognized because I have plenty of those games myself. Okay. But yeah, like I thought this concept was very interesting, especially with Balahara being like it does kind of look like a modern drill, you know, like it just kind of has that vibe in its mouth. Like it's clearly recycling a lot of material in the sand and like moving it around, especially with the sand tide. Like it's clear that this is an integral animal, because like the way I interpret it is that like the sand tide is meant to be like strong wind, you know, sand in the air, whatever, but then the sand tide is actually good for the environment instead of being like a harmful thing. And I think that's mainly because of Palahara having moved in, because it doesn't care about the sand tide. It lives underground. It lives like in the sand. But in going through the sand, it's making it so that the like particulate matter, the organic matter, whatever, that would normally settle at the bottom of the dunes gets like mixed around. And that means when the sand tide happens, the sand that gets transported more inland, like into the steppe, into the grassland, isn't just like, it's not just sand, it's also a lot of the organic material, which then nurtures that environment and like essentially fertilizes it for a few, I don't know how long canonically like one of the like plenty seasons is, but I'm assuming it's like at least a few weeks or months in the canon. And like I thought that was interesting, but like this is something I should have talked about in my Ecology of Monster Hunter Wilds video from the demo, but I didn't know about this concept before that, so making a short about it is like, again, no one gives a shit about Balahara, no one's googling Balahara, this is not going to show up in anyone's feed. But I'm kind of sad, because like this is an interesting concept. I might find a way to talk about it in Pokemon. That might be a thing I look into, because I am currently working on one bigger-ish script that I actually don't have in here. I'll see if I can find it quickly. In my, is it work in progress videos? No, it's not. It's, why is it in my work in progress shorts? Is it in my shorts? Where the fuck is this script? The helly? What the helly? Did I put it in my finished shorts? No. No, I wouldn't do that, and I in fact did not do that. Search. Cave. There it is. Nope, wait, that's the repository of my old ideas. Wait, is that? Wait, where's this from? Old script repository. This is in my work in progress shorts. Oh, I should honestly look at this as well. I'll put this over here, actually. We'll put this over here. We're gonna have a look at this, because this is even older. I had like multiple multiple script repositories, I guess. Where the fuck is my... Where the fuck is this video? There it is. God. Okay. There's this. And there is this as well. Yes. Okay, good. We're back on track. Caves of Pokemon Center of Mawile. Okay, good. We got all the script ideas back to where they belong. Dude, pork, just PC trying to pirate work games anyhow work time. I thought you were done with work. Wait, do you end at 1700 or do you... I don't get it. I don't understand where you're going and where you're leaving me. That's so sad. Anyway, where was I? Right, so this... I should make like little notes at the bottom here. I'll do it in italics. Turn this idea into a Pokemon short, maybe, or incorporate it into the cave video. I think this is probably the way to go, is like incorporating this concept of bioturbation into the cave ecology video. That's probably my, I would say like my big project that I'm working on right now. The one I'm actually excited about. This video is hype. You should still make it. Type trainer short. What is this? Oh yeah, this was another one that I literally just finished scripting and then never fucking recorded for some reason. because I was thinking I might want to change it into a longer video. I don't know if this one's worth it though. I don't know if this one's worth keeping around. The idea was basically like explaining why it is that in the Pokemon world, like in the games, in the anime and whatever, it always seems like people have a type theme. Like every trainer you fight seems to have like a type theme. And then the ones that don't either have like a different kind of theme, like with construction workers, they might have like a Grimer and a Machop and like a Magnemite, like as an example, which are all different types, but they all would help them during their job, or it might be Pokemon they meet on the job. It's not a very groundbreaking video, to be honest. I just kind of feel like, I don't know if this one is like worth being made. Do you know what I mean? Because the entire thing boils down to, yeah, our trainer is exceptional because they're actually like a trainer. A lot of these people just kind of like are dudes who, you know, they have like pets. Like a hiker with their one Vulpix is not trying to become the champion. They're like, yeah, I'm hiking here with my Vulpix. And for Pokemon, battling is enrichment. So do you want to have a little battle, a good pal that I met while hiking, which is my hobby? And then the guy, the like main character pulls out like a level 100 Blastoise and just fucking kills the Vulpix. And it's like, you probably look like an asshole doing that. But like, yeah, like that's essentially this whole thing. Is like, yeah, people don't keep Pokemon to battle. They keep them as pets or for work or whatever. And I don't know, it's a bit too much for a short, but it's nothing for a video. And I feel like I just feel like the premise is not very interesting, you know? Like I don't get excited about this premise, but I mean the script is done. Like I could edit it together. Because like this is like maybe 1.5 minutes of audio. This is definitely like this is a short I could make in a day. I could edit this together, it would be fine. It'd be content, you know. Don't know if it's worth making, but the script is solid. Would be easy content. But I don't know if I want to make it, I guess. Now this is an idea I never fleshed out, but this is actually one that I'm interested in doing. The problem here, the hitch has very much been research. Because we don't really know anything about Ultra Beast ecology, right? We have, for the most part, a lot of non-canon information, and then the canon information we have is not helpful. Because I feel like a lot of it implies that each ultra space, like each, is it called like each ultra space, or what is it called? Each ultra planet? What is that called actually? Pokemon, the ultra deep sea, for example. The dimension. Is it an ultra dimension? Is that what it's called? The ultra deep sea, but like what is the categorization of it? Known as ultra space, Moon is the home dimension. Dimension 7. Okay, so it is like it's called a dimension. I guess we're at ultra space. Wait, no. Different worlds. The player can travel through different worlds while riding through ultra space, including all of these. Oh, you can't see it. I'm on my browser. I didn't prep that, I guess. I didn't prep my browser. I'm very sorry. I think this is an interesting video. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. I think ecology of Ultra Beast would be genuinely very interesting. There's just nothing here, man. That's kind of the issue. Is there's absolutely nothing here. Let me do this quickly here. Hold on. Let me do a little bit of a boop, and I'll insert new window capture so you can see when I'm like when I be researching over here, I guess. You can see what I be researching. Research. Browser window. And I want you to select this. And window title must match. Yes. No, that's the wrong one. This is the correct one. And then I can go boop. And I can shorten it a little bit. I can make it a bit smaller. There we go. So like all of these places, right? You got the ultra deep sea here and shit. Like it's... Oh wait, I should put it somewhere where it actually like makes sense to have it, huh? Where does it make sense to have? I guess like up here. Can you read that? Is that readable? Is this readable material? I hope so. There we go. Let's look at the geography. It's like a dark world with many caves includes several colorful rocks that resemble diamonds. Small pathway in Illegal can be actively seen traveling through the area. Yeah. There's a small rock you can sit on to attract Illegal. Like that's kind of all the canonical information that we have. And anything else would be from the anime or from concept art. Is the concept art here? I don't think it is. Let me look for it quickly. Ultra Space Nihiligo concept art. Because there's like one famous image that everyone always pulls up. Which is this one. Hello? This one. And like, it's a cool image, right? You have the... You kind of have the idea... I don't think it... I don't know if it's mentioned here, but... remember the Cortana... I think what's being like implied here, if I remember correctly, is that Nihiligo essentially grows from these crystals. Like, they don't reproduce. They're more like real jellyfish, because jellyfish grow from polyps, which can... I think they have like a stationary stage. I think some jellyfish do, at least. I think even like a specific parasitic one that Nihiligo is based on, if I recall correctly, but I'm not entirely sure. And like, it's cool, but like that's it. In terms of like the ecology of ultra space, if we're looking at like Nihiligo's deck center here, it's just kind of talking about like how it's a parasite. Like if we're looking at the deck centers, it's just like, yeah, it's a parasite. It appears from the wormholes. It tries to behave like a young girl, and like, I can make these make sense, but it would be so much speculation. And the actual info we have is just so little that I don't know if it's worth it, right? Like, I don't know if the level of speculation required to make this video happen is worth it. Because if we're gonna go over to like Buzzwell, right? It lives in the Ultra Jungle, right? What do we see about the Ultra Jungle is that there's trees, the trees look like they're flexing. There's a volcano in the background, there's a river and wind and stuff. Like, there's not much here. The most interesting one of all of the dimensions would be like... Which one is it? It would be Ultra Space Wilds, what? Various Pokemon not native to the... Oh, I didn't even know that this was a thing. I never actually finished Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. The Ultra Ruin. This is like the only one that... Hello? There we go. That has like substantial enough lore to where you can like talk about it. Because like, yeah, this is Alola after it was consumed by Guzzlord, right? Like it's... Or after it was consumed by some... Like it was destroyed and then there is a Guzzlord, and I think it's kind of implied that it's the Guzzlord's fault. Yeah, I mean, like, this place even got a movie, right? Like, with the... Yeah. I think this place got a movie. Ultra Sun series appears in... Parallel Friendships... Parallel World of Ashes World... Okay, so I guess this was just in the anime? This was not actually a movie? that it had. Okay, well, either way, it's like, this place actually has some lore. But it doesn't tell us fucking anything about Guzzlord, right? Like, this fucker doesn't tell us anything. So the only dimension we actually have lore on that is like substantial enough to talk about is one where it does not tie into the ecology at all. So I'm kind of left with like, not a nothing idea, but just like, I want to make this video really badly. Like, ecology of Ultraspace, or of the Ultra Beast, would be really, really interesting. But like with Nihiligo, for example, the reason I'm like invested in this is because I made a like 3-page document once for a roleplay server about Nihiligo and about whether or not it's a parasite. And in that, I like speculated like, oh, what about its home dimension? Like, if this is a parasite, what is it a parasite of? Typically, parasites are very small compared to their prey, so there would need to be like thrice the size of Wailord type shit walking around. Like, I just don't see, like, the way Nihiligo is portrayed in the games makes it seem like it's a parasite of roughly human-shaped creatures. Like, that's what it parasitizes. But I feel like that's more of like a quirk of its biology, I guess, of its like anatomy, that it can attach to humans and Pokemon, but like, I feel like there's probably like a huge fucking whale or something, and it attaches to them, and the whales barely notice because Nihiligo are so small in comparison. But then when it attaches to a human, the effect is very different and very pronounced. But like, that's complete speculation. We don't have any information on if there's other Pokemon in their specific Ultra Spaces, right? Like, I don't know if Nihiligo's dimension has other Pokemon in it, or other Ultra Beasts or whatever, and like what the actual ecosystem looks like. So yeah, it would be a cool video to make, but I don't know that there is anything here to talk about. Like, conceptually, I really want to, but it would just be a video entirely made of speculation, and I don't think that's worth it. So I'm gonna add a note to this one that just says, this video would be almost entirely speculation. I don't know if that's worth spending time on. Which sucks, because I really like the Ultra Beasts. I do like them a lot. This next video idea, Skulk Ecology. The actual structure for this is like already done. In my head. I think it might have been on paper or something, but like I wrote down just some ideas of what Skulk could be. And I don't think, let me correct myself here potentially. Let me go look up just the words like Skulk, or like Minecraft Skulk Ecology. Because I don't think anyone's made this video, which is surprising. Like, people have talked about like Skulk mechanically and like potential lore implications in shorts or whatever, but like, Skulk is very clearly an organic thing, right? It's not some alien creeping threat or whatever. I don't even think it's necessarily related to the well, it might be related to the portal, like to the ancient, what are they called, the in the ancient cities, the portal blocks, like reinforced deep slate or something. If that is a portal, like, the Skulk might just be like from that dimension, wherever that dimension is from, but like, I don't think it's anything like supernatural. It's clearly organic, it's clearly like alive in a way, and like, I think there's actually some like, I'm really surprised no one's made this video, because to me it seems so obvious. Like, yeah, you've got this like mycelium creature, right? Kind of like a fungus or a slime mold or something. It creeps through darkness. It doesn't like light, clearly, because it never like appears above ground. It like, light doesn't kill it, but like, it doesn't have like skin, so I assume it's probably kind of susceptible to like UV radiation damage, so it just avoids sunlight. kind of like, you know, a slime mold, and it, you know, clearly feasts on organic matter, whether that is from just organic matter that's dispersed around the area, like stuff that's just on the ground, like a corpse, or just like, you know, just organic stuff that is on the ground. Like it can spread from that, or it can spread from actually like quote unquote actively hunting. Like if something dies on it or near it, there's a, like, it will absorb the experience. That's maybe something to talk about, where like it doesn't grow from organic matter, it grows from this like vague concept of experience, which in Minecraft does have a, like it's sort of tied to like lapis lazuli, for example, so maybe that's what it feeds on when it's underground. It feeds on like minerals and stuff. I also think there's something interesting to talk about it potentially being a creature, a life form, whatever, that is dormant almost all of the time. Because I think that would be like a super interesting take, to go like, yeah, this huge slime mold, this huge fungus or whatever, the reason it can get so big and why it doesn't really ever consume energy is because the only time it's consuming energy when it's using energy is when it's consuming, when it's actively hunting. Like if something dies near it, it will notice that and then spread the nutrients throughout the entire system and then go back to being dormant. And it's fine for it to go back to being dormant, because if it is disturbed, it has these structures, these like external sensory organs that we would know as skulk sensors, which don't even necessarily sense the thing themselves. Like they do, but all that they do is like they are able to perceive sound, and then the only times that can actually be helpful is because they will like relay that to a shrieker, which could be an infected organism. It could be like maybe the shriekers are like also an organ of this creature, but like maybe the entirety of like a skulk area is like more of a colonial organism. So that's why the shrieker is like kind of a separate thing with the warden, because they used to be separate and then they like merged into a colonial organism, and now they're so merged together that essentially they are one organism. You know, Portuguese man of war, you guys know what a colonial organism is. And in that context, it makes sense that like the warden looks so weirdly different, because it might be an organism that was incorporated as a defense mechanism into the skulk colony creature, and that only activates when there is a threat. And usually, a lot of the time at least, if there is a threat, it also means that you then get energy, because the warden will kill whatever the threat is, and then the net energy gain for the whole organism is in the positive, because it goes immediately back to being dormant. Like, I think looking at Skulk in that way would be way more interesting. And considering how Minecraft is like kind of never out of style, like it's always kind of in vogue, you know, I feel like this is a video that could do not numbers, but like I feel like people would watch this, right? I know that the update that introduced Skulk and like the Deep Dark is quite a long ways off now. Like it's been years at this point, but I'm just surprised that like I've never seen anyone talk about Skulk in this way, when to me, like it's the obvious way to talk about it. But I'm also very, you know, biology, one-track mind brained. But if you're interested in this, let me know, because like this might be a script I actually work on today. Let me see, because I don't think I've started a Skulk script before. I have not started a Skulk script. So we're gonna make one. We're gonna go Skulk ecology. We're gonna go insert. What? No. Add link. There we go. None found. Make a new note. I don't care. There you go. Skulk ecology. New note created. What are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about it being a colonial organism. Research colonial organisms to relay exactly how they work and how it differs from multicellularity. Because I'm gonna be for real with you, I don't entirely know the difference in function between multicellularity and colonial organisms. I know that they form in different ways. I know that colonial organisms form out of multiple multicellular organisms that are already self-sufficient. But I still want to know, like, what is functionally the difference? Because the way I always heard it talk about was in, like, oh, they are different. Like, it's different for something to be multicellular versus colonial versus single-celled. And I want to know what the exact difference is. So considering I don't know that yet, I don't want to make too many statements on this before I actually research it. So that's going to be like more of a to-do here. What was the other thing? Skulk could be behaviorally similar to slime molds or some types of fungus. Might feed on experience, parentheses, soul, and parentheses, soul energy, and thus also be able to live off lapis, question mark? What else did we talk about? Dormant organism unless disturbed. Averse to sunlight, but not immediately harmed by it. Probably because it don't got no skin loser. Yes, this is actually how I write my notes, by the way. Might explain the weird separation between skulk sensors and shriekers and wardens. There we go. Probably not from this dimension, likely from wherever the ancient city portal leads, but still an organic creature that obeys the laws of, like, organics. I don't know how to word that. What else did we yap about in the attempt to make this? I should turn my spell checking on. Show me what I wrote wrong. I wrote this wrong. Damn. Too bad. We're adding cuz to the library. Potentially limited in size by background is there like a word for like metabolism, but like metabolatory activity? Is there like a way to extend that word? Metabolic, that was it, metabolic activity. Even a dormant organism must use some energy after all. Because that might explain why they haven't like eaten the whole world yet, right? Because they do convert. I didn't talk about that at all, actually. They do convert blocks, right? That's like a thing that Skulk does. Skulk Minecraft. Let's see. Skulk out of Skulk family drops experience. Yeah, it's also made of experience, essentially, or at least it stores experience. pretty likely as it drops experience when broken. Post-generation, when a mob dies within 8 blocks of a skull catalyst, replacing blocks in the area with... Okay. So it's only next to a skull catalyst. Blocks only get converted when close to a skulk catalyst, meaning these blocks may be akin to their orifice / primary digestive organ. Is that not how you spell orifice? Orifice, there was an I missing. Okay. They do... Right, which includes all the surface blocks of most dimensions. So stone, granite, and so it's all the stones, terracotta, netherrack, nylium, basalt, gravel, sand, red sand, dirt, grass, mycelium, coarse dirt, rooted dirt, clay, moss, pale moss, mud, and soul sand. The outlier here is moss, right? Because, like, I can actually put this up here. I can close all of these windows and there we go, so you can see what I'm looking at. The outlier here is definitely moss, because like I can come up with a reason for all of these blocks being consumed, I guess, which is just that all of these blocks are inorganic partially. Right, like if the skulk can eat grass, it makes sense, or if the skulk can eat dirt, it would make sense that it would also be able to eat grass and mycelium. That makes sense to me. But if it's also able to eat moss, which is literally just organic material, there's nothing else in here. Then again, Minecraft moss functions a bit differently, right? Because the moss in Minecraft can also just like turn rocks into organic matter. So I feel like for the purpose of Minecraft ecology, we could consider moss to be like a middle block between organic and inorganic. I think that's acceptable here, right? I think that's totally acceptable. Because, like, notably, things like wood are not on here. Things like, ores aren't on here. It's literally just, like, the base rocks, surface materials, and moss. So that kind of implies that Skulk does not eat organic matter. That it, in fact, cannot eat organic matter, or at least if it does, it's like it might not use it, like it might just like it might drop it as like a waste product, because like all it consumes is experience. If you walk across it, the only way that the skulk gets nourishment is if you die, not if you like, you don't get consumed alive like you would with a lot of like carnivorous plants or fungi or whatever. So, okay, you know what? Keeping that in mind, might feed on experience. Probably unable to digest. Probably unable to digest heavy materials like metals and ore, as well as organic matter directly. Cannot consume / spread across wood or leaves, but can consume moss and grass. I'm gonna make another thing here. Moss functions similarly to Skulk, able to convert inorganic blocks to moss. Minecraft moss might therefore be talked about differently to real moss. It also means skulk could potentially be what's the correct word here, I guess? Could potentially fill the same niche as Minecraft's moss in whatever dimension it evolved in. Convergent evolution is always fun to talk about. Smile. I always like talking about convergent evolution where possible. That's not... Is this how you spell niche? Really? That's stupid. Let's see here. I'm not from this dimension, averse to sunlight, dormant organism. Okay, these are all still correct. And then I could say, or moss. I did in fact misspell separation and behaviorally. And molds. Slime mold. Is that not how you spell mold? Is this how you spell mold? I thought that's a different thing. Isn't a molding like the thing under a window or whatever? Like a molding is a thing you find on buildings, I thought. Maybe I'm stupid, maybe I'm not smart. Okay. I think this is like a good basis of information, right? I don't think there's much else to talk about with Skulk. Any like individual things about like how the blocks exactly function, I would probably look into more with this aspect here of like, oh, how do the shriekers exactly function? How do the like why is it like specifically sound sensitive, all that stuff. But I think this is a good basis of it. This I'm not sure about because we have established that it cannot eat organic material, or it cannot eat ores, so I'm gonna strike that through for now. Still gonna leave it in the notes though. Okay. But this is a video that I think I could start scripting, and I do want this. I definitely think that this would be like a long form video. I don't think I could make a Skulk video as a short. But I think I could write it in a way where it still has like the chapters that could be turned into shorts, right? Like at the very least, let me actually put that down here in like a second list. Actually, wait, no, I'll do the... Fuck, how do I insert a call out again? I always forget. Insert call out, there we go. I always like having it collapsible, so I'll add the little plus there. What was I gonna type? Format for potential shortification. Make at least the parts about the individual organs of the skulk into video chapters that could be cut out into their own shorts that then link to the main video. And now we got a little call out here that I can collapse and open, so that's why I wanted it separately, because I wanted it to be like a little bit more visible. Because that is like, this is something I want to work on. This is something that I want to try and get right for my currently in production video process. I want to be able to make videos in a way that I can link them to like I want to be able to make shorts in a way that I can link them. Sorry, I'm yapping. I want to be able to make videos that I can cut up into shorts so that I don't have to make individual shorts anymore. I can just make videos. That's the actual goal here. That is the goal. Who's pinging me? Hey, yo, what the fuck? Yo, Knight, that looks fucking sick. Oh my god. That makes me want to redesign Pei to look like that. Jesus, that's awesome. Ah, she has the same gloves as my new Pei does. This is sick. That's a cool character. I don't know if you're in the chat, Knight, but that's cool. That's cool. That's good art. Okay, but I think this video is ready to be scripted. Ah, the editing's gonna take so long though. You know what I hate about editing the most is like getting the footage, because like you never know what footage you're gonna need, so I just grab a shit ton, but then if I have a shit ton of footage, I don't know how to, like, it's a lot of footage to then look through to find the snippets you need. I don't know if there's like a better process for that, because like I want to make it so that my videos don't take a month to make, right? I don't have the motivation for that. I'm gonna be so for real with you. I need to find like a video style that works for me, that is relatively low effort editing, even if the scripting and research portion took a long time. But I don't know if such a thing exists. I should... The correct thing to do, to say, would be like get an editor, because then I could send them the recorded script, the idea of like how I want it to be, like some jokes or whatever that I have like pre-made in my head. And then, you know, they could do the editing, but I don't have the money for that. If you want to send me money so I can hire an editor, that'd be like awesome. Dude, okay, Krobus Ecology. This is another video that's like borderline, not done, but like the idea of it is done in my head. And I had chapters ready. I like this project was like so far along when I was having my little Stardew phase, and I still kind of want to make it. I don't think there's anything else to say here. I think I just want to make this one still. Make this one. Make this one. I'm actually gonna make these ones bold so that I know that they're different. Like the ones I want to actually guaranteed make, I want to leave green. Yeah. Ecology of Lifeblood. Definitely a video I want to make, I think. I think this one is absolutely one I want to work on still. There's a lot of potential here. The problem is, right, the issue is that Silksong and Hollow Knight don't exactly... They didn't pay much attention to ecology when designing the world. It's not like with Monster Hunter, right? Like, Monster Hunter very clearly took inspiration from real animals to make the world feel realistic. Whereas the worlds of Farloom and Hallownest don't feel realistic, but they do feel immersive, right? Like if you start thinking about like the actual, not functionality, the actual like logistics of how these ecosystems work, beyond the very basic stuff like, oh, the city of Tears is under the lake, so it rains there all the time. Like beyond that, there's really not much. But I think Lifeblood specifically might have enough to talk about with the new game that I could make like a short video on it. Not a short, but like a 5 to 7 minute video maybe. The problem for this would also be like getting footage. I can like download a camera mod, right? Get a camera mod for this one. Because I don't want to just have like Hornet and the Knight just like walking around and waltzing around, whatever. Make this one, but like later. I do want to do this one, but I don't know. I need to do a lot of speculation on this one, and I think with the Hollow Knight video, I think it would be fine to have more speculation. With Pokemon, like there is so much lore that it always feels weird for me to have a lot of speculation. But with Silk Song, like, it would be very acceptable, I think. And then I had something about Endermites living in a separate dimension. This one was largely based on a AMA, I think, that one of the Minecraft devs did, where it essentially said that, like, Endermites, like, they live in, like, the in-between dimension that Endermen use to teleport, and sometimes get dragged along, and Endermen don't like them, and you don't like them, and they don't like you because you just, like, drag them out of your home. This is definitely, like, shorts material, though. The only way would be, like, for this to not be, like, a short, where, like, it's just the short, would be for me to make a whole video about the ecology of the end dimension. And I don't really want to do that until the end gets updated, right? Because I think there's been some rumors that the next update is possibly the end update. So I don't know if it's something I want to work on now. I'm just responding to Night quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna write this one. I'm gonna tag this one down as, like, make this in a segment of a larger end dimension ecology video, but ideally after the end update, because I think I saw something that the end update was coming as maybe the next one or the one after that. So I think this would, yeah, like, I'm in no rush to finish these videos anyway, so I think this one's definitely, like, I want to make it. I think it's, like, an interesting factoid that, like, oh yeah, the Endermites live in the in-betweeny weenie dimension or whatever. But beyond that, I just don't think there's enough here for a full video. And the end dimension, like I said, is subject to change. So yeah. MHU. Did I write anything about this actually already? No, I didn't. Let me open this in a new tab and delete it. I just don't think I'm making this video. The dungeon meshy one, I don't know. I need to... when the anime finishes, I might still make this. Because I like talking about Dungeon Meshi. I think it's a great show. These ones, I don't know, the Weaver lore I'm just not gonna do, to be honest. Skip fourth chorus, like these are very much like, eh. And then this one would just be like, I'll keep these timestamps here, but I'm probably not gonna do these. But having the timestamps is nice to have, I suppose. And then I wanted to talk about, so we looked at this, we looked at the type trainer thing, Skulk ecology, Krobus ecology. And then we have this one. This is a very old, we're gonna discover this one together. Because, like, this one I just have not looked at. This is a very old node. You can see because, like, when did I make this node? Can I don't know if I can, if there's, like, metadata I can look at. I don't know. Anyway, Alolan muck is domesticated. Alolan muck were imported to deal with the garbage, being produced and then adapted to eating solid dirt instead of sludge. They also are most often taken care of by humans to avoid the crystal shedding into the environment. That's interesting. This is kind of a species that, like, if it were to run amok... it would probably be very problematic because the crystals are incredibly toxic, but because they're almost always found in the care of humans or in cities, they're probably not an issue. Yeah, did necrosis great trioxis. This one was like a theory I saw. Yeah, no, I don't think this would be a good one. Fossil Pokemon Dolocaris. Oculus, Interesting. I'm rediscovering some old ideas here. I don't hate this one. I don't hate this one. This was when I was like wanting to start the fossil fake mon thing, but I hadn't decided on which one would be the first one. It ended up being the Dickinsonia fossil video, which I'm still very proud of. I know it's a short, but like I like that one a lot. And then I made the one about the fossil trees, the lepidodendrons. This one I don't hate the idea of. Hold on, let me show you what a Dolocaris actually is, by the way. There we go. This right here, this is Dolocaris. It's quite cute, right? So it's a little guy. Look at him. Look at the little guy. Look at this little man. This is the actual fossil, by the way. But yeah, like gigantic fucking eyeballs. What the hell is Dolocaris? Exactly. I like this guy a lot. I think this could be like a very interesting Pokemon to talk about. I guess I would have to see. Because what did I write down here? I wrote down some like name inspirations of like Doloculus. Because like it's obviously like an animal that is very eye-centric. Doll, normal water type, or rock, based on a literal doll. Oculus themes around the big eyes. Nern's Glare, custom Leer move maybe. Yeah, I was gonna give it like a signature move for Leer. Doloculops as an evolution. Cyclops theme, one big eye. I think there's something here. You know what? I'm reading this. I think there's an idea here. Who's with me? Who's with me on this? One big eye. Maybe even incorporate themes of Greek Cyclops myths. Water and Poseidon elements. Perhaps an Easter egg of it learning Thunderbolt. Because I believe, wasn't it said that the Cyclops were the ones to make the lightning bolt for Zeus? I don't think it was Hephaestus that made the lightning bolt, right? I'm pretty sure it was the Cyclops. But why would it be a doll? Like I like this was like me playing around with the name, with it being like a normal water type. But I don't hate this, right? Like I don't hate the idea of having like ooh. Okay. Okay, how about this? How about this? How about this? Hear me out. Hear me out, hear me out, hear me out. Big brain idea. Okay, we're gonna do this big brain idea here. Split... design two Pokemon. One revived from a fossil, Doloculops, and one that has been among humans for dozens of years and has been selectively bred to be more friendly to be more easy to take care of. Doloculus. Or no, actually, and I'll add another thing here, right? Right. Because I just realized the name that I originally chose here, Doloculops, has a third meaning that I could use in this, right? Triops. Rehistoric in big air quotes animals that many people keep as pets. I had Triops as a kid as well, by the way. That's why I'm kind of like, that's why this popped back into my head. This could be a sick design, actually. you have like one version of this Pokemon that actually revives from a fossil, like a typical water rock type fossil Pokemon. We also draw the fossil for it. And then we have a separate one that has been like friendlyified by breeders and whatever. And that one can be like normal water type, or I can make it a bug rock type and then like a bug normal type. And it can have like lost its hard shell. It can be like perpetually smiling or something like that. I think that could be actually like a really cool idea for a fossil Pokemon, where like you have the actual fossil instead of giving it an evolution. You have, what if this fossil was like integrated into society to a point where it evolved, not in the Pokemon sense of the word, but in the like evolution, like natural evolution, origin of species sense of evolution. I think this is hype. The problem with the fossil videos is that I always need like someone to actually draw them, right? But I've been like getting a bit better at drawing. I could see about at least getting like sketches of these done myself, getting the ideas down. But like I like this idea. I think this is actually like a fucking hype idea. I think this is definitely going in the oops. Nope. Copy. I think this is absolutely going over here in the big idea repository thing. And we're gonna give it a nope. Gonna give it in green. Make this, oh my god, it's so cool. This is an idea excited. Like, dude, if I would have to have any niche, it would be designing fossil Pokemon that are like unique and interesting. I would also just need to do a bit more research. Also just research Dolocaris more beyond the basics. Maybe there's some cool Easter eggs you can hide in the design. Because like, I want to make these fossil videos not just as a way to, you know, make cool fossil Pokemon, but also as a way to talk about these real fossils that I like. Because I feel like a lot of fossil discoveries that are kind of new don't get talked about much, which I find very sad. I feel like people's love of fossils kind of starts and like begins and ends with dinosaurs, because that's what they grew up with as kids, and then they never looked into like the paleontology that has been getting done in the meantime. And I think that's sad. Like, fucking, again, look at this fucker. You telling me this is not worth having a fossil Pokemon? This little guy? This little tiny man who even has a Minecraft thing? Like, bro, he's perfect. He's awesome. Look at him reading. I love this shit. This is so cool. I like this a lot. Me pointing at like fossil reconstruction art, I like this a lot. This is good. Okay, we be doing stuff. We be doing stuff. Yippee. Why aren't you in my stream for working? This is so sad. I'm crying. I'm just bullying my friend quickly. I'm just being a little bitch boy, asshole, little bitch man. Collected fossils as a kid, I have a few at home. I mean, yeah, a lot of people do, but like a lot of fossils are also just pretty common, you know? Like I have a lot of fossils, but like a lot of them just aren't interesting, you know? The Alolan Muck thing, I don't know if this is worth... I don't know if this is worth... Like, it's interesting, but it's also like, you know, like that's what the Pokemon is. Like, it's in its dex entry, we kind of know about it. I don't know if there's like more here to yap about. Thing. I forgive. Okay, I'm no longer being mean to my friend. Okay, yeah, I think this one I'm probably going to just delete from my idea list, because I don't know if it's worth turning, because like I'd have to make like a full ecology of Alola video, and that's not a novel idea. Place I found them were quite common, it's been picked clean now. Yeah, if it's like a known fossil bed, and it's not actively being worked on by paleontologists who like have the area locked off, not gonna last long. Yeah. Fossil Pokemon Tuatara, something about maybe it being a fossil or it being a normal Pokemon in a fossil region kind of thing. Bro has a third eye. I remember why I wrote this down, because I found out that the Tuatara has a light sensing organ on top of its head. This is a bit boring, I guess. I don't know if this would be... I don't know what I would talk about here. What kind of... Yeah. No, this would definitely be like more of a regular Pokemon you find in a region of fossil Pokemon. I don't think this is worth keeping. Bad idea. Bad idea, past pay. Bad idea. It's okay. I was just being a bitchy boy for the funnies. Don't make me feel bad for bullying you. Sad emoji. I'm such a good friend, man. I'm such a great friend. Okay, next up. Fossil Pokemon Ichthyotitan. Gigantic Ichthyotitan severnensis. That got the size of a blue whale. Could be a jaw. Called a jaw fossil. Well, there's already a jaw fossil. Same size as Wailord. I'm deleting this from the list, but that's only because this is already a video that I've had sitting there. The problem is that there's been some new evidence that showed that the fossil of Ichthyotitan, the jaw that we have, was like overestimated. Like the size of it was an overestimation. It's still interesting. It still was potentially larger than a blue whale. But I feel like that would make for a more interesting Fossilmon than just like, oh, it's a really big marine reptile. I think it would be far more interesting to have like a thing where like you don't quite know how big it is. You know how Basculegion has the like the ghostly essence swimming behind it? I feel like something like that would almost make more sense here, but I don't remember. Aging effects on some Pokemon. I think this was just like a cute thing I saw on Twitter. Yeah, where it was like, oh, some Pokemon like rust as they get older, you know? Rusty Aggron, yeah. Like, this is really cool. I wrote this down and I wanted to like ask for permission. But even then, like, I would just be showing off their work, I guess. I don't think this is like a good thing to be doing, no. And I want to just like show off someone else's work as if it's mine, even if I get permission, and then like link to it and stuff and be like, oh, these people gave me this idea. Like, nah. Legendary beasts are not evolutions, as it talks about revival, different than transmutation. Yeah, okay, so this was mostly, again, this was like based on a Reddit post I saw, where essentially it's saying, because everyone else goes like, oh, the legendary beasts were like revived, but then, and they were like, oh, what if those beasts were originally the evolutions? And I don't think this is a good idea to make as a short, because like, this is essentially just saying like, your fun theory is wrong. Fuck you. Like, there's nothing fun here. This is a very anti-fun short. I'm not making this. Screw this. Nuzlocke tips from someone who is good at Nuzlocks, totally. Player on the crit, player on the range, user candies. Didn't I make this? Did I make this? No, I think I've just like multiple times now thought about making a short like this where I'm like, oh, here's how you can make your Nuzlocke more fun. And then I never quite got around to it because I always felt like it was too condescending. Or like, I'm like adding information that everyone already knows. I guess I don't know what the target audience for this would be, right? Because like, this isn't a short where I'm like invested in it the same way I'm like, I am for one of my ecology shorts. Like, this would be more of like, I want to help people, so I do want people to see it, but like, I genuinely don't know what the target audience for this would be. If it would be like it would have to be people who are interested in Nuzlocking but have not done their own research on how to do a good Nuzlocke, and also like just haven't gotten around to it, I guess. I feel like the Nuzlocke content on YouTube has gotten so broad that like these are not novel concepts to be discussing, and I feel like anyone who's even vaguely interested in Nuzlocks already knows about these things, basically would be targeted at me. I mean, I guess, but I feel like even, not even you. See, that's what I mean. It sounds so condescending to talk about this, because like, oh, play around the crit. Like, that's not a novel concept. That's like Nuzlocking 101. It's like, yeah, if you take damage and you're dead to twice the amount of damage again, you're risking dying to a critical hit. So you should probably switch, or you should, you know, maybe take the risk if you don't have any, like, it's interesting to talk about these things, but as a short, I wouldn't really get to elaborate on them in the way that would be necessary. This is very much more of like a Yap type video, but if it's a Yap type video, then the people who it's targeted at are not going to watch it, because the only way that someone would watch this for like the person who's the target audience would be if they happen to be scrolling past it on YouTube Shorts and don't scroll past, which they would if it's too rambly, right? Like, it's very, yeah. I don't know what this, I mean, I understand the idea that I was going for of like, oh yeah, a lot of people, when they play Nuzlocks, there's like this divide now between like the hardcore Nuzlockers and the non-hardcore Nuzlockers, and like, essentially all I'm doing would be explaining why playing with hardcore Nuzlocke rules is like more fun, or just like things that make your Nuzlocke less tedious. But a lot of people, if you're someone who plays the Nuzlocke for the gameplay, you already know these things, right? Like, if you're stuck, I don't want to say stuck. Again, it's so condescending to talk about this. If you enjoyed the way that Nuzlocks worked back in like 2012, 2014, where it was people just playing a base game with the Nuzlocke rule set, and they would bring the same team to every fight, and they would have their little friend Jeremy from Route 1, and they'd cry as their starter dies to like a crit, and they'd get over-leveled on some of their Pokemon and like just like wash the game with it, and they'd get really attached to their like HM slave. Like, that kind of person would be who this is targeted at, but like they're not gonna do a Nuzlocke like this. Because essentially what I'd be telling them is like, hey, here's how you don't lose your Pokemon. And also, isn't it like more fun if you don't have to grind? And like, I think that's more fun, but then you also lose the challenge of the base games. Because like, let's be so for real here. If you're moderately competent at Pokemon, like you just know your type matchups and you do things such as playing around the crit, playing around like ranges, maybe you like learn a little bit about how the AI works, and maybe you like look up what Pokemon you're battling beforehand, right? You're like, oh, I'm battling this gym leader, let me see what Pokemon she has and which ones I need to bring like a counter for. As soon as you start doing that, any base Pokemon game is a cakewalk. And I truly do mean this. It's difficult to lose a base Pokemon game when you're doing these things. If you have a box of Pokemon that you're keeping up to the level cap, it basically takes to the second gym in order to reach critical mass and just like be able to snowball throughout the entire... I guess snowballing is like considered a bad thing in Nuzlocke, but like you just get to like just waltz the entire game. As long as you never lose a battle fully, which, let's be fair, it's basically impossible unless you're fighting like Cynthia, and even Cynthia is like, she's not that hard. Like, people play up Cynthia because Garchomp just has high base stats, and because her level is like relatively high compared to the rest of the Elite Four, so there's a good chance you'll be under-leveled when you face her, except for like your starter or whatever. But like, if you're not doing that, if you're just like leveling to the level cap of the Elite Four with all of your team, you're gonna beat Cynthia with almost no problem, as long as you just bring an Ice Beam TM. Because like, all of the threats on her team, the Roserade, the Togekiss, the Garchomp, are weak to ice. Like, it's just not really an issue. So, yeah. I don't think this is a valuable... I just don't think this is valuable to anyone, right? I don't think this idea would be something that someone could watch and get value from it, because the kind of person who could get value from it isn't gonna watch it. It's kind of fun. Like, I thought I was gonna script today, but what I'm doing instead is just going through all my old video ideas, which honestly is not... That's not unproductive. I actually have been wanting to do this for a while. Just like actually assess each idea I've had in the past that I hadn't made and see if it's still worth doing. So this is actually nice. I like this. So this is interesting, actually. Like I said, this is an old note. This is an old like thing I wrote. I'm currently working on a cave ecology video that I've already gotten like a pretty big amount of information on. Like my research phase for this is basically done in terms of like researching how real life cave ecology and ecosystems works and how it can equate to Pokemon. There's a lot here actually. But let's see what I wrote back in ye old past of like half a year ago. Most of the game is carried from the outside, but Pokemon like Zubat, many Pokemon live off of other things like electricity or minerals. That's true. That's the thing that I also wrote in these notes, where I was like, one of the reasons why ecosystems within caves are not that common in real life is because the sun gives all of the energy for animals. So energy for animals and plants needs to come from other things like Zubat, or like in real life it would be bat droppings. In Pokemon, every cave has Pokemon in it because Pokemon can eat rocks. So they don't care if there's no sunlight. Most Pokemon that enter the cave do so partially. Being adapted to rock environment, yes. This is something I should actually copy into my new notes now that I think about it. Because this is one of those things that I was like looking at where like a lot of Pokemon do live in the caves permanently, but both in real life and in Pokemon, a lot of Dex entries and stuff mention that some Pokemon just like take refuge in caves. Like it said here, for many other Pokemon caves are refuge. Turtonator and Duraludon both dislike the rain and hide in caves when it downpours. This is... I'm glad I already... that past baby pay from half a year ago already had this information on lock. That's good. That's good. Ye old paste. You know, it sounds like you're talking about like an old, like a bread topping. What do you call Brotaufstrich in English? Hold on. Let me go. Brotaufstrich. Spread. Bread spread. Yeah, it's just spread. Like it's what you call like old spread for your toast or whatever. Anyway. Well, it's rare for Pokemon to completely lose their eyesight. Many evolve to keep their eyes closed, develop a kind of visual organ like Nosepass, Sableye, and Carbink. Interesting. What was I cooking with the Dunsparce visual organ here? What was I cooking there? Float slightly, which scientists believe were used to fly in ancient times. However, it avoids detection and flees with burrowing its tail. They get along with Diglett, navigate through without getting lost by the smell of dirt. Oh, you know what? I think past me was referring to the eye closed thing, not the different visual organ thing. We call it Peleg. So it's another pay word. There's too many pay words. My name has too many meanings. But I think I was perhaps cooking a little bit with this idea. A different kind of visual... I should do visual / navigational organ. Because Nosepass just has a very well-developed nose. Same with Dunsparce, who keep his eyes closed. Sableye and Carbink do actually just have, like, gem eyes. Not E. Isn't it like... Is it A? How do you pronounce that? Is it like A? Because that would, for me, be like this. Many caves also have other sources of light, like charred stones or opening in the ceiling. I like this part here. I'm gonna put that in my notes. The rest of this is not valuable to me. So I can delete this. This is my current thing on the cave ecology. This is probably the video I'm going to make next. This is the one that I actually want to like start scripting on because I'm actually very excited about this concept. One thing I do still need to look into is specifically how caves form in real life. I know about the whole like limestone karst system generation of caves. But I wonder if there's other ways, because I know that, like, at least I don't think that all caves are in limestone or like other water-soluble rocks, right? Surely there's like other ways for caves to form. So that's something I'm gonna have to like look up and research a little bit. The thing that I do want to talk on as well is that, like, where is it? Did I write this down somewhere? Did I not write this down? Damn, I'd not written this down before. There's more caves in Pokemon, most likely. Maybe I put this over here somewhere. I don't know. Surely I put this somewhere. Hold on. Caves themselves are also more abundant due to the Pokemon who create them. Because, like, we have so many Pokemon that are burrowers that are quite large. Obviously, like, a Dugtrio and a Dunsparce are not making a cave, but they can make the ground less solid for something like a Steelix or an Onix to burrow through the ground. And, like, both of those Pokemon are very common. I would even put, like, Excadrill in this category of being able to make, like, very large caves. These caves can then... I should actually write that down. Even small tunnels can expand due to water now having a way to eat its way through the tunnels, through the ground, as well as other Pokemon activity widening... what's the word I'm thinking of? Widening hollow spaces underground. Because, like, that's why I think caves are so much more common in Pokemon, especially in mountains. Every mountain in Pokemon seems to have, like, just networks of caves going through it. And I think it's mostly because of Pokemon activity. I don't think that it's geological activity that does it. Or even, like, hydro... What's the word out for this, I guess? It's not hydroponic activity. I guess aquatic activity? I don't know what the word for this would be. Hydrogeologic would probably be the right word. I'm guessing it would be like hydrogeologic. How do I explain the pronunciation? It's like oh, but without the breathiness of the oh. Oh. Kind of like that. I'm just moaning for the fucking... Dude, the people who are not catching the stream because they think it's gonna be boring, they missed out on the pay moaning segment at where are we at in the stream? We're at 156, 150, 158. Stream timestamp, pay moans for chat. Remember it, it's important. It's gonna... Listen, clippers, clip that or something. Dude, I wish I had clippers. I wish I had people who just clip things for me. Can you imagine? I wouldn't have to pay attention to it. God. If I was just a bigger streamer, all of the stuff would be done for me. All the stuff I don't like. And then I would feel bad. I always feel bad when people do things for me and then I don't learn to do them myself. I always feel so helpless. My girlfriend often writes emails for me because I'm terrible. It's not even that I'm bad at writing the email itself. I'm just bad at getting started on it. And then she's like, no, you can ask me for help. Like, she's good at writing emails. She doesn't mind doing it. She's very good at it. So she was like, yeah, you can ask me for help. I don't mind. You know, you help me, I help you. And, like, I always feel so fucking useless if I'm just sitting there and she's writing the email for me and I'm like, thank you, honey. And then I feel useless because, like, I didn't learn to do it, right? I like being able to do things. I like learning how to do things. Anyway. So that's like that's the thing that's a big topic I want to touch on. Yeah, 10-15 minutes was kind of the length of the video I was aiming for, where essentially I wanted to talk about caves generally, like in real life at the start, and then like equate them to how Pokemon caves work, and then have segments on ecological niches that exist in caves and how they are filled. So for example, like I said here, bat type Pokemon or bat like Pokemon, like Zubat, Swoobat, and Noibat, they all have the same ecologic niche. They're not found in the same cave systems, and even if they are, I don't think they ever are, but like usually it would be man-made caves or whatever. Like these guys do the same things. For the purpose of the ecosystem, they do the same stuff. Mineral consumers, again, these all do the same thing. They're kind of like primary consumers that normally would be plants. Cave creators. I feel like most of these mineral consumers also kind of fall into that. I should write that down. Some of this I should say a lot of this activity, once a tunnel or narrow path is formed, is a lot of this activity is handled by smaller mineralophagic. I don't know, like that's not a real word, but I'm gonna coin it for this because I don't know how else you describe a Pokemon that, or like an animal that feeds on minerals. Pokemon that widen and broaden caverns in search of their preferred... Is that how you fucking... How do you spell preferred? Is that correct? I think that's correct. Okay. This may also be why tunnels and caves rarely fully collapse, disappear, as they are continuously renewed by Pokemon activity. Because that's another thing, is like cave ecosystems, also Aaron mentioned, hi Pancake. I didn't know you were here. I guess that's the point of a work-along stream, huh? That you just work while I mean, I was supposed to work, I've just been yapping a lot. But I like yapping, so you're gonna have to deal with that. Listen, next work stream is just gonna be me not saying anything and just scripting, hopefully. Hopefully. Wait, you do Blender stuff? Bro, why didn't you tell me? Can I hire you to do, like, fossil Pokemon? Do you do Fossilmon commissions? So I can have, like, cool Fossilmons that are animated and 3D and shit? Smile. I smile at you. Anyway. So caves in real life collapse a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean like over the time spans of like tens of thousands of years, cave systems can very easily disappear. They're not very stable ecosystems. So any ecosystem that forms there, a lot of the time won't be very well developed, because by the time that animals are really starting to like evolve into it, quote unquote, the cave will just collapse and be gone. So in Pokemon, this problem is also kind of solved, which explains why we have Pokemon that are so incredibly adapted to life in caves. Also, I did show you the stuff I made. I'm, like, stupid and stuff, okay? Wait, was it Cobblemon stuff? Dude, I don't fucking remember. My brain is mush. My brain is soup, okay? You can't be mad at me. I got soup brain. I've got brain made of soup. By the way, where's Mimi? I want to do my showdown battle. I want to do my battle of showing down. Down, 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 down. Amba. Where was I? Right. Mineral consumers are one. Cave creators, maintainers. These are Pokemon that don't consume minerals, but they are, like, mostly responsible for the actual, like, major digging. Where, like, a lot of these mineral consumers, at least in my worldview of this, because, you know, it's all, a lot of this is just speculation and, like, extrapolation of data and stuff, is that, like, these guys kind of just, like, eat away at the cave walls, like, slowly to look for food, whereas these guys just, like, fully tunnel for, like, dozens of meters through like a whole mountain, right? Okay. Cave Shelter Seekers, like I said, these are Pokemon that don't live in the caves, but they might stay overnight, or just when it rains, or when they seek safety. Clefairy, Paris, Turtonator, etc. A lot of these Pokemons fit there. Then we have small predators, because we have an actual predatory system here, like Sableye, Mawile, Exploud, and potentially Druddigon might hunt in caves, even though I think it's mostly been, like it said that it just takes shelter in caves, but it might also hunt there, I don't know. And then obviously Apex Predators. Mostly the big dragons, and then I also put Ferrothorn here, because Ferrothorn does seem like a kind of Apex Predator, but also might be mineralophagic. It might be like a mix. I feel like it could be like a... to me, it like functions similarly to like a carnivorous plant. I guess the only weird thing is like, why has it kept its green pigment when it's not in the sun? But it could be that just like it supplements its diet when it's in a cave with when it's in a cave that has like sunlight or whatever. It just hunts to supplement its food, and then it can absorb nutrients, but also it can find like holes in the ceiling and get sunlight from there. But yeah, this would be like one of the weird things to mention. 6 minutes through its fans. Yeah, I think I read about that as well. I feel like Ferrothorn as an Apex Predator probably doesn't work. I think this is more of like a small ambush predator type. Or like I don't think that this would be like capable or willing to go up against like an Aggron or like a Garchomp. Would be my guess. I'll edit that for sure. Okay. Yeah, like this video, I'm actually very excited to make it. This is the video that I've been like most procrastinating on actually making, because I think the research on it is done. I think I've put together all the information that I need. I fact-checked it to make sure that it's not wrong. I think I can just make this video, but I've been procrastinating on it because long-form video scripts are not something I'm experienced with. And today was gonna be a day where I just sit down and do it, but instead I was yapping and looking through all of my script ideas. Though I'm not mad about that, because honestly this is a thing that I also really needed doing. And now I actually have some videos, because like, if I look at this and all I see is like a bunch of videos I don't want to make, I skip over the ones I do want to make. And now that I've like marked the ones that I actually care about, I think it's gonna be a bit easier for me to actually sit down to write. By the way, originally this cave video was just going to be about Mawile, and the script for it is fully done. And I'm actually very excited about this one. I was like, oh, this is such a good script. I'm very excited to make this. And I was like, oh, but I don't really want to make shorts anymore. I want to like make like full videos. And so I'm gonna just incorporate this into the cave script, but like, I'm actually really happy with this script. I think this is a grade A script. I can't wait for someone to steal this or something. So I'm gonna like Google Mawile ecology in 2 weeks. Someone will have like copied my exact script from the screenshot. I fucking hope not, dude. I would be so mad. I would actually lose my shit. Cause like I work so hard in these videos when it comes to the research. I try to make it, cause like this here, it's not just about like, oh, the stuff that's in this Pokedex entry. I like did some, I don't want to say like primary research, but like some, I found a thing in its design, which is the brightly colored spot atop the jaw here, which was gonna be like the big twist in the video, like, oh, here's the stuff that you already know. But did you know this stuff, right? And it's like me speculating about a real behavior that animals have that is cool and makes sense for Mawile to have, and it puts the design in a bit more perspective. And if someone steals this, I'm gonna be actually, I'm gonna like full on have like a drama war. I'm gonna full on go like Google Docy. I mean, it's also gonna be very easy for me to prove that I wrote it first, you know, so. Teehee. Well, I feel like we're kind of done here, right? I feel like we're kind of good. A little bit of a yapping stream, a little bit of just like looking through ideas, seeing what sticks, seeing what doesn't. One other thing to mention is that most likely these videos, even if I finish them, they won't be done for a decent while because I think I mentioned before I want to use my new model for the videos, which means I need to actually either have the model or have the talkie sprites commissioned, and that's still gonna be a while. Potentially the talkie sprites could be done beforehand. Maybe I'll like commission a PNG tuber or something from the person with my original model. I might look into that. That might be a thing worth looking into, because then I could once again use those things for videos like I used to back in the day. Could be doable. Could be a thing to think about. I don't think I've got anything else to yap about. I didn't do any actual scripting. I'll see if I can force myself to do some, but I did do a good amount of work here. I think this was definitely productive. I don't think we can really call this unproductive. I did talk the whole time though. I didn't actually ever shut up, which was, I think, part of the, what was it, like part of the deal was going to be that I shut up and work, and I didn't. But I did work, I just didn't shut up. Anyway, I think we can call this one here. I think this is a good place to call it. We can put myself back here in the middle where I belong, in the middle where I'm important. Thank you for stopping by if you did. It ended up turning into less of a co-working stream, like I said, more of a yap stream, but hey, maybe you enjoyed the little look behind the scenes of like my video ideas and how I tend to do them. Next stream, maybe on Monday? I might try and do another like co-working stream where I actually just script, but also I don't really know if that's something I can do on camera. Like it's, I don't know, my scripting process is kind of like, I don't want to say personal, but you know. Regarding other, so on Monday I might stream a video game, because I saw that what's its name came out, Power Wash Simulator 2. And that is something I really want to play, so I might play that on stream a little bit. I do have to leave on Thursday next week. I will be gone for like the rest of the week. So yeah, I don't know how stream is not going to look next week, but I'm hoping I can at least get some work done while I'm dog sitting for my parents. So maybe that's going to be like the good that comes out of that. I don't think I've got anything else yet, because you walk to and fro all around, and why? It's like, why playing Factorio is so wonky, because you just up and go do something else for a bit and come back. What do you mean? Wait, what do you mean? I did my stuff today. I looked through all of the video ideas. I did one thing the whole time. It just wasn't the thing I wanted to do. You can't be saying that shit to me. You can't be saying that shit. But yeah, like I said, next week's streams looks a bit rough. But at least I'll do at least one. There will be at least a stream, and it's probably gonna be Power Wash. And besides that, I don't know. I do also, by the way, I haven't forgotten about Run and Bun. I just have not looked at how the fuck I can beat Brawly. I've genuinely not looked at it. Because that fight looks... Like, I have such an interesting team, but that fight looks fucking undoable somehow. Which is so strange to me, because, like, I do have a very, very interesting team. For this one, and, like... I don't know why it's so rough. The fuck? Dude, why does the Pokédex GitHub always break on this? I don't get it. Whatever, you didn't see anything. I'm hoping I can also look at the run button thing, because I do want to continue that run. It's very fun and interesting. I just have not gotten around to planning, because it was really difficult to plan. You did God today? Yo, my work process. Yeah, I do meander a bit. Maybe it's that, like, my meds were taken like 8 or 9 hours ago. So my meds just have lost a lot of their power. Maybe I should take my meds in the middle of the day and then immediately get to streaming. Maybe that could be a thing where like I take my ADHD medication, or I just stream right smack dab in the morning, and then literally none of my like usuals can come watch. Okay. Ask your doc about twin dosage. I don't know if my medication can do that, because I think I know what you mean. Where like it's like it halves the strength of it, but you take it twice throughout the day, so it like lasts longer. I mean, I guess I could ask him. You know what, Marty? I'll write it down for my next psych appointment, because I do have one this month. Or is it next month? No, I've got one. And I'll write down... Ask about... twin dosage. Okay, you'll explain later. I wanted to do a Pokemon battle today as well, but my opponent is not awake yet, so you're not getting a live battle today. Also, I'm realizing I really have to go to the bathroom, so this is honestly a good time to end it. If you stop by, thanks for stopping by. If you're watching the VOD, I salute you for watching this meandering mess. Leave a like, leave a comment, leave a subscription, and give me money, and join my Discord server. And I hope you have a great day. I hope you managed to get some work done as well. I hope you watch this when you're working, and then you're like, wow, this guy yaps, and then you mute me, and then you do your work. And that's my hope. All right. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by. Bye-bye. See you next stream. Bye-bye. 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 Bye.